You're very welcome to join us for the live stream of the Connolly's Red Mills and Showing Ireland Champion of Champions. Our first final, the horses have just entered the arena. We have the riding horse final, so these horses have qualified from all over the country to be presented here today. So I'm delighted to be joined by Jane Bradbury. Jane, you're very welcome to the commentary box for the Champion of Champions.
Thank you very much, Jane. It's great to be here. 7 years, I can't believe it's running this long, and it's great credit to yourselves, Red Mills and Showing Ireland, to have it and supported it for this long. It's great. Well done.
Absolutely. And what a gorgeous showcase of horses that are just entering into the ring. So they're just making their first lap around, and a real mixed bunch, Jane. And obviously you've got great experience yourself in this. You won the inaugural Champion of Champions back in 2018 at Tatterstalls.
That's right. We were lucky enough to win it back then with a lovely middleweight horse. At that time it was just the one championship, which was all hunters together. But this makes it for interesting viewing and judging. It's a mixture of riding horses, cobs and colours, as we can see, and it looks like a fantastic class forward here.
Absolutely. And I think you also judged as well, 2021 I think it was, at Connolly, our first Champion of Champions back after the COVID break. So you've had the experience of judging. Particularly, this is a really interesting final. As you say, it's such a mixed bunch of horses. These have qualified from the riding horse championships across 10 of the qualifiers across the country. So those winners include, as you said, we've got a cob here just entered the arena. We can see on our screen now, that's William McMahon, and that is Glenrua Yellowstone. We have the coloured horse Bart, he qualified at Ballyfoyle, I should say. And then we've the riding horses as well. So a real mixed bunch. Incredible.
Yeah, it is. I've seen it from both sides. I've seen it from riding, as you say, back in 2018, and I've seen it from the judging perspective. I did confirmation that year with Leah Kent, who did the riding so very well. So I've seen it from both sides. So I'm now seeing it from another angle, which is also interesting, but encouraging to see so many nice horses in front here.
Absolutely. And just looking at here on the screen, we have, as I mentioned, Bart. Bart was the reserve riding horse champion at Ballyfoyle show, and of course so many people would know him. He's pretty famous at this stage, taking home 2 championships at the Dublin Horse Show last year, both the side saddle and the coloured horse championship. So he's a bit of a star in his own right.
He is. He was a star in England for Vicky Smith, and he's come to Ireland now to be ridden by Ciara Mullen, who unfortunately is just injured at the moment. So it's good to see him in here with the best of the best in the riding horse section.
Absolutely. So I think our judges are just taking their preliminary look at them now in the walk. This is a fine arena here in Barnadown. I think we have 11 combinations lining up for them here now. And then we are joined by our judges. We are joined by Michelle Burgess, and we are joined for ride judge, and we are joined by John Robb as well, who will judge confirmation. So pretty interesting selection for them to go through today.
Yeah, so their initial viewing will be seeing them walking around, and the walk is so very important, as all paces are, but the first time they see them is in walk, and the nice active walk is interesting and important to see.
And we can see on our screen there, just as we move to the Go Large now, but that was Ascot Angel. That was the riding horse owned by Jennifer Kennedy, and today we have Amy Watchhorn in the saddle. And actually we see Jennifer now on her cob Money Cross. Both horses for Jennifer this year have had huge success. They've taken home a championship almost every day they've been out this year. Money Cross has been the cob champion at the Northern Ireland Festival for the last couple of years. So Jennifer, no stranger to main arenas.
Not at all, no.
And of course we have Peter Quirk, who is here live in the main arena, so he will be calling for the competitors through their paces, and the judges will look for them to go through their walk, trot and canter on the right rein before we change, where we'll be galloping left.
And it's great to have a ring of this size. Great credit to Barnadown and keeping it so well, but it's great to have a ring of this size, both for riding in and for judging. Everybody gets plenty of space and gets to show the horse to the best of their ability.
And that's so important, Jane, I suppose, and even from the judges' perspective and the riders, to be able to get yourself into such a good spot that you're giving your horse every opportunity to be seen.
Absolutely. Ringcraft is a huge part of showing, and it's an art, I suppose, in itself. I mean, obviously everything has to come together right on the day, but ringcraft is something that can only really be learnt with watching other people and with time and put it all together. It's your job to be there to get the horse called in as high up as you can, even though today they're being called in any order initially, but in a lot of cases they're called in the judge's preference order. So it's your job as a rider to get them called in as high up as you can. Then you hand them over to the judge, they have to ride them, and so it continues.
Very good. Just in shot there now, that grey horse is Tiffany's Gold, a thoroughbred horse. He's 7 years of age now, and he qualified at Adamstown where he was the riding horse champion. Jessica Murphy on board. And as you said, full credit to Morris Cousins and the team here at Barnadown. Just now we're watching Katie Crozier come down the long side in front of the judges. So Katie was the reserve champion at Ballyfoyle. Well, actually, she was the wild card at Ballyfoyle, riding this beautiful draft mare, who actually also stood champion at the ladies in Balmoral this year as well. So lovely to see the versatility of these horses in the riding horse class, as you say. Many of them doing other jobs as well as their showing.
Yeah, and that's important too, because it's important to keep a show or any horse's mind right. But if they can do as many things as possible, it does keep them sweet. And the horses that are maybe a little bit older in their showing career, it's important and great credit to the producer and the rider to keep them sweet and keep them interested in their job.
Judges they've just asked the competitors now to change the rein. Leading them across the change of rein is Nicola Perrin, and Nicola is riding her own Balnarin Babette. This is a lovely 4-year-old riding horse. She was reserve champion riding horse at Gorey where she qualified, and went on to stand reserve at Clonmel Show also, where she was reserved to Glenrua Yellowstone.
Nicola is great to produce her young horses. Every year she's got new 4-year-old faces on the scene. She does a great job with them. She's from a family that's steeped in horses and show horses, and she's carrying on the tradition to great credit to herself.
And a massive line of form in the Champion of Champions. She's won the Hunter final twice, back in 2019 with Major Malone, by I think it was John Stafford owned
That's
Major
right,
Malone.
it was, yeah.
And then last year she won the Hunter Championship here in Barnadown with Zolbra Seuss, who then went on to stand reserve supreme champion at the Dublin Horse Show. So, and I think she also has 2 or 3 of these riding horse titles to her credit as well. So Nicola definitely knows her way around this main arena.
This main arena, which is such a great warm-up for Dublin, which is now only just over 3 weeks away, it's great to get these horses out here into the big green space of the main ring in Barnadown.
And even just to get a taste of the atmosphere, I suppose, too. I know nothing really matches up to the atmosphere of Dublin, but this is as close as I think we're going to get. And as you say, lovely to see. Many of these horses will be in their own individual classes come Dublin Horse Show, so to have the opportunity to see them all together is really lovely. We see her now in front of the judges. This is Lisa Mitchell Talbot, and she's riding Randallstown Rigsby, and she was the reserve champion at Balmoral Show, the reserve cob champion. So it was fantastic this year, the partnership with Showing Ireland and Balmoral Show. The champion riding horse and cob and reserve champions all came forward to this year's champion. So all part of the Showing Ireland Grand Slam of showing. So anyone who won their class in Balmoral, who wins their championship here today and goes on to win their class at the Dublin Horse Show, will be crowned the Triple Crown champion.
Which is
so
great.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Shane McKenna now in view. Shane is beautifully turned out, riding his 4-year-old riding horse, who qualified with the wild card at Adamstown. Again, Shane, no stranger to the big occasion and the main arena, and has a real wealth of background of knowledge, even working with the thoroughbreds throughout the years. He would have worked with John Thomas McNamara, and he's been involved in a lot of the thoroughbred sales prep, and as well as a pretty prolific showing career resume. And this lovely riding horse is also owned by his mum Janet.
So they're now going to call in the 4-year-olds while they let the other horses gallop. Great arena to gallop in, and the 4-year-olds will wait, and they will have their turn when the older horses have had their gallop.
This is Ascot Angel, owned by Jennifer Kennedy and Amy Watchhorn. She was the riding horse champion at Gorey Show, followed by Nicola Perrin. Next to gallop is Jennifer Kennedy and Money Cross. This is Lisa Mitchell Talbot, followed by Jessica Murphy and Tiffany's Gold. William McMahon now on Glenroy Yellowstone. Fabulous name for the Dun Cob.
Yeah, brilliant.
Clearly a name, a fan of the series.
And William is a great galloper. He gets all his horses galloping well.
He really does. I'd say a lot of that hunting background with the Galway Blazers. And here we see Shane McKenna and his 4-year-old riding horse. I think maybe one of our last to gallop is going to be Katie Crozier. Oh no, we've got Ben Rainey here as well. Ben was the reserve riding horse champion from Balmoral. Ben had a fantastic Balmoral. He was also on board to win the Young Event Horse Championship as well. With the
versatile,
4-year-old.
very versatile.
Absolutely. A fantastic young rider, incredibly versatile, jumps the working hunters, the showing, and as I said, the eventing as well.
They've been called in now in any order.
Is this a bit strategic too, Jane, I suppose? When it's in any order, are you trying to place your horse maybe if you think they're better off ridden early or late and they want some time to cool down? What are you thinking?
I myself like to get them in to be ridden early while they're warmed up. I mean, on a day like this, it can go either way, really. It's very hot today, most unusual conditions for Ireland. So it's hot and standing in that line with the sun on their back. I personally would rather have them ridden earlier. So yes, I would try and get myself in quite early.
It is a hot day for them, I suppose. It's fantastic for the spectacle, but it's going to be tough under those hunting coats for everybody.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
There's plenty of water in there for horses and the riders. And given the weather as well, where everyone on the way out will be given one of the 4 equine refuel gels to help the horses recover afterwards.
Which is most important, absolutely, yeah. Because it's not only in the ring they're doing their job, it's the prep to get them in the ring and the journey here. Some horses travel better than others, some horses worry about a show more than others. So there's all those things to be taken into consideration, especially with 4-year-olds at this time of the year. It's July, early July, and people producing them under saddle are only starting to get to know them. So all of these things need to be taken into consideration.
So first to be ridden, this is Nicola Perrin's Balnarin Babette. It's bred by Tom Burns and is by Portlaoise First Touch. And from a judge's perspective, Jane, I suppose, the first horse you ride, this is Michelle's first class to judge today. She's here specifically to ride our 3 finals. I suppose you want the first one to go well? Yeah,
I mean, it's very important. I've seen Michelle judge a lot. And she rides beautifully, but yeah, from a judge's perspective, I think the initial thing is when you sit up on a horse, you've got to feel a horse underneath you. There's nothing worse than getting up on a horse that's narrow with a very light front. It's nice to get up on a horse and feel a big front in front of you. And also something which probably a lot of people don't think about is important to have a good saddle. And alongside that, then the stirrups, I've seen so many cases your leathers don't go short enough or they don't go long enough, so you've got to make sure of that. And then the other important thing is the stirrups. I mean, I've seen big guys judging and they can't get their foot in the stirrups because they're pony stirrups. So it's all very important, and it's all an accumulation of everything that adds up to the final.
It is about the finer details, isn't it? And just that preparation, I suppose that all comes with practice and experience and feedback.
Yeah, and they need to be sharp off your leg the minute you get on them. You don't like one that hangs to the line a little bit or doesn't want to leave the line, so that's very important. And really the only way you prepare a horse for that is to have a lot of people coming in to ride them, taking them to different shows if you can, have other people ride them at the shows. and then of course the outings are very important. You know, there's a lot of work in getting a horse ready for somebody else to ride. It's one of the only equestrian disciplines that it happens.
It is quite unique, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and it does take a lot of work and effort to get them. And first impressions last, so from the first 2-3 seconds you're on them, you either click or maybe you're thinking, oops, I'm not so sure.
Absolutely. Well, that looked like a very sweet ride to get Michelle up and running. That was the 4-year-old riding horse, produced and presented today by Nicola Perrin. And next, I believe it looks like we're going to be getting on Glenrua Yellowstone, William McMahon, and of course his wife Grace Maxwell Murphy. They've really had an incredible couple of years,
they've
haven't
had a
they?
wonderful time, yeah. Whether it's hunters, cobs, Connemara's, hunters with Galway Blazers, they do a great job with their horses. They really do, yeah. And this is an interesting thing because Michelle has just got down off a riding horse and is now getting up on a cob. So you're going from kind of one extreme to the other, which makes it interesting.
Of course, William and Grace, they themselves have, I suppose, a fantastic track record in the Champion of Champions. They're homebred Glenrua Da Vinci. I think it won the 2022 final at Tatterstalls and then went on to stand the Supreme Champion at Dublin Horse Show.
Yeah, and has gone on to England now, is competitive in its working hunter bracket as well, so he's gone on with good success.
And again, this is another 4-year-old. It's amazing. They're just, the first 2 4-year-olds have been so beautifully behaved.
And it is unusual to see a cob up and running and so mature like this cob is at 4, because cobs take a bit of time to come to hand. They're kind of a freak, really. You know, they're certainly hard to breed and difficult to find, and they do take quite a bit of time to come to hand. So it's nice to see a 4-year-old cob going as sweetly as this and looking so well.
I was in Clonmel last week, the day where he qualified, and in the championship, Clonmel has a wonderful big arena. And my God, did he do a great gallop up the long side in the championship, impress the judges to stand champion and pick up his ticket for today's final.
I think William must gallop them in their sleep, because I've never known William to have a horse that doesn't gallop, and even the cobs.
I think a jockey in his maybe earlier days as well helps.
He was a racing man, yeah.
And hunting every weekend during the season with the Galway Blazers, who I believe hunt through their own farm nearly twice during the season as well.
Oh, it all helps.
That's Nicola Perrin just returning to the line, having presented her riding horse for confirmation. I suppose maybe a chance now to leave the saddles off their backs for a few minutes and let them cool off.
In Ireland, some of the shows in England, they use a marking system. So when the ride judge gets down, they will give a mark back, and the confirmation then will also do the same. But in Ireland, we don't do that. And so as Michelle is going down through her ridden horses, she'll be thinking and comparing one to the other and trying to lock it into her mind what she has felt or what she liked, what she didn't like. And meanwhile then, of course, John will be doing the same with his confirmation.
Now we have Randallstown Rigsby next to come forward with Michelle on board. This was the reserve champion cob from Balmoral Show. He's a 7-year-old now, and again really versatile. I got a chance to chat to some of the competitors during the week just to get a little bit of background on those I mightn't know so well, and fantastic to hear the likes of Rigsby. He's also starting doing his dressage with Elaine Buller and has been achieving some really strong scores. He's got a beautiful laid-back temperament and gives a lot of pleasure to everyone who's a part of his life. Doing a lovely job there now for us.
Looks a lovely ride, doesn't he? And cobs, you know, they're supposed to be for every member of the family, and easy to get up, easy to get off, You can pull them out and do whatever you want with them. So hence their height at 15.1 makes them easy to get up and down off. And they say the child of the house and the granny of the house should be able to ride them.
Absolutely.
It certainly looks the case here.
And he stood reserve champion in Balmoral, having won the Maxi Cob section. And he's also had fantastic success at the Dublin Horse Show. He seems to really know his job.
Yeah.
I can see why he's a yard favourite, all right. He's very sweet.
Lovely kind head on him, hasn't he?
Absolutely. And again, just the versatility of these horses and the fun they provide for the people in their lives, their owners, their riders. Rigsby also, not only does he do his dressage, but he also does some endurance riding as well. So
it's fantastic.
Fantastic. Yeah. Based up in Lisa's yard in County Tyrone. So like that, it's fantastic to see so many competitors coming from all over the country. We've, Nicola's obviously Kildare based. William and Grace have come all the way from Galway today, and Lisa all the way down from County Tyrone.
Yeah, it's great to see them travelling down, but this is quite a unique championship, and from the support of Red Mills, it's a huge attraction, and it's one that's on the showing calendar for each individual now from a very early stage. And as the summer goes on, it's one they prep for, and then from here to Dublin, and it's certainly one they all want to win now.
It's hard to believe it's 7 years, and it would be 8 had we not missed a year for COVID.
Yeah,
so,
it's amazing how quickly it moves.
And it was just after COVID, when we came back in 2021, that both the riding horse and the amateur section were added. I think the whole objective Showing Ireland really wanted to shine a light on showing here in Ireland, and also increase participation and open it up to more people to get involved. So,
which it has definitely done. You can see from the numbers in each of the 3 finals today, it certainly has done the job it was intended to do.
Next up now for Michelle, we have Bart. We spoke a little bit about Bart at the start of the class, but he really is such a pro. Off the back of their incredible Dublin Horse Show success last year with Ciara Mullen on board, they also made their trip to Hoyes. It's incredible.
That's right, she's had some fun with him. You can immediately see here how difficult it is for a 4-year-old to compete with the older horses. But Michelle will be taking all that into consideration when she's riding, and she will have asked as she goes along, I would say, what age they are, and she will forgive a 4-year-old a little bit, whereas she may not be so forgiving of an older horse. This horse, Bart, knows his job well now. And he looks
fantastic for 15, doesn't he?
He does look amazing, yeah, absolutely, and that's huge credit to the team that look after him.
And of course, Ciara, not only her side saddle and her success on Bart last year, but also so many successes with the Connemara ponies over the last number of years.
She's very good with her Connemara's, yeah.
And obviously her partner Lee, a big part of the team, and we'll hopefully see Lee later on in the Hunter final, riding his own 4-year-old Phoenix Park. A great team. And obviously Ciara's mum heavily involved as well. It's a huge team effort. Yeah. And it's been absolutely fantastic to follow their success over the last couple of years. And like that, like people like Ciara, they're so helpful in sharing all their information and insights. I know Ciara's very active on her social media and her Instagram, and it's fantastic sharing the tips. Yeah, absolutely. It's so beneficial for people who are joining the sport.
And encouraging for them, isn't it?
It's so important.
Michelle is doing well. This is her 5th one to ride, and she's not looking too hot just yet, as it's recorded at 24 degrees.
Mind over matter, I think, in these conditions. Well. This is Jennifer Kennedy's Money Cross. He's 7 years old now.
Jennifer has produced this cob since he was 3. I think she bought him as a 3-year-old, so she's produced him all the way along and done a great job with him. Another horse that enjoys the sport. He's not, in fairness, overshown, but he certainly, every time I've seen him at a show, he looks like he enjoys the job. She likes her cobs, Jennifer.
She does, and I go as far as to say that he is unbeaten this season. I think between her riding horse
I think you're
and
right,
Money
yeah.
Cobb, I think every weekend they've come home with a championship. So a huge credit to Jennifer and Karen and David, a huge team. They do a beautiful job. And Jennifer herself, I mean, as I said, no stranger to the show ring. I think if you were to look at the record books, I think she's a 9-time Small Hunter winner at the Dublin Horse Show. So she's definitely chasing that magic number 10.
That's good,
Isn't that something else?
Yeah.
And Moneycross himself, he gets his season underway at the Northern Ireland Festival, where he's been the Cobb champion there for the last 3 years in a row. So a 7-year-old now really knows his job.
And he looks a lovely ride,
Doesn't he? Covers the ground well.
Yeah.
Nice and straight. Lovely.
The gallop is important in the hunters and the riding horses, but it's not so important with the cob. You know, a good walker, obviously the 4 paces have to be good, but the gallop would be, cobs don't necessarily have to gallop flat out, but you know, cover the ground, which he did there very nicely. And also teaching a horse to gallop, you don't want them anticipating it, and it's very important as well as that is the pulling up from the gallop. A lot of horses you see switch leads as they do pull up from the gallop, so that in itself is a little bit of an art to try and keep them on the right lead the whole way down the long side. And here in Barnadown, I mean, the long side is alongside as it is in most of these big shows now, so it's important to keep them on that right lead the whole way down and not allow them to switch.
I think competitors today are quite spoilt with this beautiful arena. This is Morris's Pride and Joy.
It is.
Plays host to some of the biggest show jumping events, I suppose, that we host, between Dublin Qualifiers or the Breeders' Classic. So it really is such a privilege to be here today. And God, it must be lovely to ride on. It looks like a beautiful ring to ride.
And the ground looks superb, considering the dry weather we've had. But
Yeah.
I have no doubt Morris and his team are out watering it. So
They had
that's
the
why
sprinklers
it looks
going last night,
Yeah.
and the automatic mower is constantly keeping it all level. So we actually, the one stipulation today was no hoof oil in the arena, so we weren't going to damage the grass. So hopefully competitors are obeying the rules.
Yeah, that's why it looks amazing. Absolutely.
And we must also note today there's a couple of other prizes on offer. There will be a Cardi and Martin prize for the best turned out combination of both horse and rider. And then Showing Ireland are sponsoring a prize for the best turned out groom. So I think that's a very important part of the picture as well.
It is. It's the overall picture. Horse, rider, groom, team. It's all part of it. And yeah, grooms take great pride in what they do as they are entitled to do. And their turnout it's like a modelling competition at some of these shows. You see them turned out so well, which is great to see.
It's all part of it, isn't it, though? And particularly when we go to the Dublin Horse Show, because it can catch some people out sometimes if they're new to it. The rules around no jeans and having to wear a hat.
Yeah.
It's all part of the
it is.
of the piece. So
People are getting very used to it now,
Yeah.
and it's a good thing. It makes the whole
Absolutely.
thing look much
So
more
smart.
professional and smart.
Now we have our 4-year-old riding horse. This is Watchhouse High Voltage, the 4-year-old, produced by Shane McKenna and the McKenna Show team, and owned by Shane's mum, Janet McKenna. So again, just a 4-year-old, first season under saddle. It seems to be taking the occasion really well.
Shane has a big team of horses behind him now.
And has had
And-
a cracking morning this morning. He cleaned up in the hunter classes
Yeah,
this morning
he's-
here at the Wicklow Show.
He's having a good year as well, and he does his horses well, and his team.
And again, a really rider with a huge varied background, as we mentioned before, his experience working with the thoroughbreds all the way through to riding a pretty high level dressage. And obviously his partner Fatali as well, very, very heavily involved in coaching
Yeah.
and helping people too. A lot of support given to the sport.
Yeah, he does a good few clinics around the country and is very encouraging of the young people coming through, very giving with his time. So that's good.
And a lot of people today at this competition chose to come last night and stay with their horses overnight here at Barnadown. So you can imagine that was again a nice little bit of a a night away for some of the horses, maybe going to the Dublin Horse Show who haven't stayed away from home as nice practice runs. So
yeah, great for the horses too to get away from home. That's all part of it as well, because it's quite daunting going away for a night or two early on in their lives. So it's all of these stayovers on the way to Dublin is very important to try and make them. You have to try and prepare for everything on your road to Dublin. As you said earlier, Jane, it's very difficult to prepare a horse for the atmosphere in Dublin, but you can only do what you can do. But as many of these shows, without overdoing it, is very important, and getting them to stay over. And
it is that balance, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
To know when enough is enough, but to have the homework done.
Yeah.
Next we see Ascot Angel, again owned by Jennifer Kennedy. This is her second horse that's qualified. So today Amy Watchhorn has taken up the ride. And again, Angel, she's been a real stalwart for Jennifer over the years, with wins in Balmoral, Niff, and I think she's won a streak of 6 straight wins this season already.
That's quite a record, isn't it?
She was champion riding horse at Gorey, and that qualified her for today. And she was also champion riding horse at Adamstown, where the wild card went to Shane McKenna's 4-year-old.
This one with the Asagard prefix is bred
right.
by John Roach, who breeds a lot of horses down in Adamstown. And it's good to see another one coming out and doing its job in the showing world.
Absolutely. As Shane McKenna presents his riding horse now for confirmation, we can't not give Sean a mention. So Sean, Shane's father, big part of the team, and he'll take over now to do the trot up. Shane has had an incredible couple of years coming back from a pretty bad injury, but he has done an amazing job coming back and has absolutely not let it get in his way one bit.
No.
But his dad Sean's a huge part of the team. Now we see Ascot Angel just pulling up after a lovely ride.
It's great to see Michelle not under any pressure time-wise. She can give the horses a fair trial, each one of them, without overdoing it. Like 3 or 4 minutes is a short period of time to ride a horse and get a feel for a horse. So that's why, going back to what I said at the beginning, it's important your initial feel when you sit on them is to be a good feel. And as 3 or 4 minutes isn't long to assess it, but she will be thinking the whole way through as she goes along about what she likes and what she doesn't like, and trying to piece it all together and have a chat then with her confirmation judge and put it all together for the final result.
And on a day like today, Jane, I suppose, when we've got such a wide variety of types lining up for the judges, that's going to take some deliberation, isn't it?
It is. It's a difficult one, and then when this class came out first, I thought, gosh, it's going to be difficult to judge a riding horse with a cob, with a coloured. But on the day, it has to be the best horse. I mean, it's a championship class, so it has to be the best horse in the class, no matter what age, colour, make, type it is. It's to be the best in this championship class today.
And Jane, when you're judging confirmation, do you have one eye on the ride judge, or are you fully focused on what's in front of you, or would you be keeping a little eye on how it's going for your partner?
You'd always be conscious of the horse being ridden around, yeah, definitely. You may not be taking it all in because you'll be doing your own job, but you certainly would be conscious of it, yes. So you'd be, you might look out and say, oh, I like the look of him, and chat with your ride judge. Sometimes you see the two judges conversing as the class goes on. They might be talking about, oh, that was an exceptional ride, or that wasn't such a good ride. So yeah, while you're watching your horse stripped in front of you, you would be keeping an eye out, yeah.
Next now to be ridden by Michelle, we have Callagay Day in May. This is Katie Crozier's ride, shown and produced by Katie and owned by Deborah Burns. This beautiful Irish Draft mare won her Irish Draft ridden class at Ballyfoyle, where she went on to take the wild card. So the wild card was newly introduced this year, where if a champion or a reserve combination had previously qualified at another qualifier, at the judge's discretion, they could select another combination from that championship to go forward. The idea being to have as many people involved in the final here today as possible, and to bring together a gorgeous showcase of horses for our judges and our spectators.
That looked a lovely ride from the Irish Draft mare. She's the kind of mare you'd love to take a foal from. I mean, she's deep and she's a bit of size, and she looked to give a good ride there.
Bred by Mark Hester, she's by Kilmove White Hero. And yeah, you can imagine for her owner Deborah, there's a very exciting future ahead for that mare, both under saddle and her breeding prospects. She seems to have a lovely temperament and carries the side saddle. As I said earlier, champion side saddler ladies in Balmoral. Katie, another really versatile rider, producing her hunters, her Connemars, her workers, performance horses.
The Irish Draft is very recognised with the shows that they have and the classes they have, which is as it should be.
And so well supported as well.
Yeah, very
which is
well
fantastic.
supported.
I know here at the Wicklow show today, and we must thank the Wicklow Summer Show for hosting today's final. Outside of this main arena here is a full show in progress, with numerous rings in operation, and our judges and stewards were so grateful for their efforts today. Of course, it wouldn't happen without the help of our judges and our stewards, and all of the Showing Ireland committee, who've put a huge amount of work into today's final. So next up is the 7-year-old Tiffany's Gold. It's thoroughbred horse by Beta Breath. He ran once as a 2-year-old and has been taking part in the showing classes for the last number of years, and again with the onboard of the Truella sponsorships, there's been huge opportunities for the thoroughbred horses here in Ireland. Today alone there was a novice and open Truella class qualifying them for the Truella final, the Pathway Series that will take place at Ivverk Show later in August, as well as a thoroughbred working hunter class, where this horse actually was second in this morning.
It's great to see so many classes for thoroughbred horses, you know, that for one reason or another are not racing anymore, or maybe never did race. So it's great to see this, that there are, you know, so many other jobs for them. This looks a nice ride too. What a gorgeous colour he is.
Absolutely. He's also done a bit of eventing. He did 2 amateur meter classes this year at the start of the season, and just had a little hold up with a small injury, but is getting back his fitness in the show ring.
Ears pricked, enjoying the job. That looked a nice ride. The horses are all riding well for Michelle. It's
They really are.
Really are, yeah. It's sometimes I never can be too sure whether it's best to be on a horse that's a little bit fresh or a horse that's a little bit tired, and I've decided that it's actually nicer to ride a horse that's a little bit fresh. It's hard work when you get this stage of the line when you're judging. If you get up on a horse that's kind of pooped and had enough for the day, and you're getting to a stage you're getting a little bit flat with the heat, it can be hard work when they're just running out of the energy.
Absolutely. I think that was our last. No, is there one more to be ridden?
There's one more, I think.
Yes, we have
Yeah.
Ben Rainey coming next. This is the 5-year-old reserve champion riding horse from Balmoral. This is Braemar Royal Voyage, owned by Gillian Gill and bred by Gillian Gill as well. Lovely.
Nice to be an owner and a breeder.
Absolutely.
And follow their career through, which is special.
And again, without breeders putting so much back into the sport, we wouldn't have these beautiful horses.
Exactly, yeah. So this looks a jolly ride. The minute Michelle got up on him, he had his ears pricked and he was keen to get on with the job. Gone up into canter now. All looks comfortable.
Ben's had a very successful start to the season. I suppose, well, we're more than midway through the season now, but so far one of his best seasons to date. He has 2 horses today for the finals. This riding horse here, and then he has a lightweight who'll present in the Hunter final at the end of the day. And between the 2 horses, they've won over 15 championships this year.
That's a great record, isn't
that
it?
Something else.
It really is.
And as I mentioned before, again, a very talented rider.
And versatile rider.
And versatile, absolutely. The young event horse champion at Balmoral, and he rode Ella Boyle's Monbeg Dunard Blue. It was a 4-year-old horse bought at the Go for Gold sale. So yeah, lovely to see another lovely riding horse. Giving Michelle a lovely ride. You know, it's fascinating seeing the likes of the younger riders like Ben and Shane and Katie come up through the ranks, and they're so interested to learn, and to all those extra 1% that make all the difference. And I know Ben does a lot with the aqua treadmills as well, with Glebe Equine.
And it's so important in any sport to see the younger crew coming through and taking it on. And I've great admiration for them coming through, because they are keen to get whatever tips they can and keen to learn, and they're never afraid to ask questions, and they're doing a good job, the younger people coming on, yeah.
And again, many of them stayed last night, giving their horses a chance to have an overnight, and there was a great atmosphere up at the stabling here in Barnadown. And like that, everyone helping everyone, and a good atmosphere, and
there's good camaraderie between them all. It's a small community, the showing community, but there's good camaraderie between them, even though they're all competing against one another and all want to beat one another. No, let us not forget that. But there seems to be good camaraderie with them. Yeah,
it's like the jockeys. They all say they're best mates in the weigh room, but once they get out onto that race course, it's every man for themselves, or every man and woman for themselves.
It's different. And that's the way I suppose it should be, because there's so much work goes into them.
Absolutely.
It's not just today, yesterday and tomorrow, it's all year. And you know, one season goes to the next, goes to the next, goes to the next, and it's year-round working. Michelle is just going down. This is a huge important job for the judge, the ride judge. She's going down through her line just to have a look at them from the ground, because she wouldn't probably have assessed them quite so much as she got up on them, because her job is to ride them. But it's good to see her going down through them all, so when she goes back to converse with her confirmation judge, she will be on the same wavelength.
Michelle did a fantastic job there.
Superb job, yeah. Very professional, great riding. And every horse went the same, went well, and she was as good on the first as she was on the last, so well done to her.
Because it's important as a ride judge, like, to be fit enough to be able to do it, and for your own comfort, never mind anything else. You know, it's a big commitment to go around to these big shows, and it's a real privilege and a real honour, I suppose, isn't it, to have an opportunity to ride these horses?
Oh, it's absolutely that, yeah. And it is important to have yourself, as all ride judges do, have themselves fit and ready for the job, but it is a huge privilege to be asked to judge at any of these shows. And to make it an enjoyable day for yourself, it's important to be fit and riding and enjoy it. And it's only fair to the competitors as well. They've gone to the trouble of producing the horse for you to ride as best they can, so you've got to do your job as a judge to do the best you can for them.
Have to credit all the competitors today. I think Caroline Davis is in the main arena representing Cardia Martin. She'll be helping select the best turned out combination. I think she's going to have her work cut out.
She is. They're very well turned out, all of them. It's a lovely spectacle, isn't it?
Without a doubt. Just even to look at what we're viewing here on the screen. Obviously Jane and I are here, we're watching live into the arena, but we have a screen in front of us so we can see what the viewers see. But a real credit to everyone who has lined up for today's final, and a huge thank you to them for supporting the Champion of Champions. And a huge thank you to all of the shows who've hosted the qualifiers around the country. I suppose we're blessed in this country with so many wonderful shows, north, south, east and west. And it's become quite a coveted thing now to host a final or a qualifier for the Champion of Champions. So.
Yeah, it's become very, very popular, yeah. And we have lovely shows in Ireland. We have these lovely shows to produce young horses and bring them to and try and make them by going to the shows, and I have huge admiration for these country show committees putting it all together. They work so hard, and they do a great job, so well done all of them.
And we must also, I'm going to just name each of those qualifying shows for our viewers now, because I think it's important that the shows get recognised. As we mentioned, we started out in Balmoral in May, where many of the riding horse champions came forward to today's final. We went then to County Carlow for the Raheen Daw show. Then we went to Ballivor, Gorey, Newcastle West, Ballyfoyle, Charleville, Flavours of Fingal, Adamstown, Clonmel, and today's final here hosted by the Wicklow Hunt Show. So a massive thank you to each of those shows for hosting a qualifier for this fantastic final here today. And the prize money, Jane?
It's huge. It's absolutely phenomenal, and that's thank you to Red Mills. It's massive, you know. For all three sections, it's not just like it was in the beginning for just the one group section. It's all three sections now. It's huge, yeah. And then it's nice to see the 4-year-olds being recognised as well with a big prize box.
So, our champion riding horse today, when the judges have made their final decision, is going to go home with a grand total of €1,000 prize cheque. It's kind of winners take all in this class. Yeah. We're looking for our overall champion riding horse. And then the prize money, then there'll be participation finalist money for second down to 6th place. And each of the finalists here today will all take home their finalist ribbons and finalist cards. So something for everyone to show our appreciation for their support of today's final. But I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get nervous. So our judges are having their final deliberation. We can see them, they're just out of shot now. They're standing behind the lineup. And we have our Chief Steward, Laura Johnson, and Peter Quirk on the PA here in the arena. So both hugely experienced. Laura herself, many chief stewarding duties at the Dublin Horse Show, so knows exactly how this is going to run. So we're going to wait for the judges to come to their final decision. And Peter Quirk will call them forward 6th through to 1st in reverse order, just to keep us in suspense.
So this is a tense time for the riders, because you know they all want to win. Don't let anybody fool you by saying they go to a show to come second. They don't. They all want to win, so it's quite a tense time for them all. But they've done as much as they can now, and the judges then decide what they want.
And all of the beautiful ribbons that are in shot now, they have all been supplied by Centrepiece Rosettes. And Chris Carter and his team. Chris is actually going to be represented now in the amateur final coming up next, so, and a member of the Showing Ireland committee. And I suppose too for the competitors, because they're not in any particular order now in this lineup, they really have no clue.
They've no idea. No idea at all. So that adds to the suspense of everything. Great colour, the Red Mills red and white there. It's nice to see it all. All those ribbons.
As I said, everybody loves a red rosette. Just while we're waiting for the final result, next up will be our amateur hunter final. We'll take a short break and then we'll join back immediately after this presentation for the amateur hunter final, which will then be followed by the hunter final. And again, that's another thing about showing. It's hard to put exact start times on classes, particularly because it's never 100% sure how long they're going to take to judge, but our judges have done an incredible job here getting through it very efficiently.
Yeah, just shy of the hour. It's good job.
For 11 horses, yeah, that's just perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, and they, you know, each horse got a lot of time, so it's well done to them, yeah.
It's interesting now, you can see the two judges, they've made their decision. It looks like the notes have been handed over to Peter and Laura, but I'm sure the discussion will go on. I'm sure they'll find it interesting comparing their notes.
Yes, yeah. And this discussion will go on into tonight and on their way back on the boat tomorrow as well, I'd imagine.
No doubt.
We're getting somewhere now.
So we have our first competitor call forward into 6th place, and it is Ben Rainey riding Gillian Gill's reserve champion riding horse from Balmoral. 5th place, we have Jennifer Kennedy's Ascot Angel, our Balgory riding horse champion, ridden by Amy Watchhorn today. Fantastic. And it's next for Jennifer as well. Her own Money Cross, the champion from Raheen Daw. Money Cross, the lightweight cob, in 4th place. And Bart is now being called forward into 3rd place. This is our reserve champion riding horse from Ballyfoyle Show. Congratulations. And like that, we wish Ciara a really speedy recovery. Now, this is interesting. Nicola Perrin, congratulations. 2nd place with Balnarin Babette. Bred by Tom Burns, a 4-year-old riding horse, was the reserve champion at Gorey Show. Who is it, Jane? Congratulations, Shane McKenna.
That's a great result for Shane. What a day he's having.
Fantastic. Riding his own mum's 4-year-old riding horse.
Great achievement.
Watchhouse High Voltage. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
And great to see a 4-year-old as well.
And a wild card. He was the wild card qualifier from Adamstown. So absolutely fantastic to see that for Shane and his team. That's a lovely lineup.
Lovely, lovely lineup, yep.
So interesting that we have our riding horses in the 1st and 2nd spot with Shane and Nicola. Bart, who won the colour class at Ballyfoyle to stand reserve riding horse champion. And then our lightweight cob, Money Cross, and Jennifer Kennedy, who stood champion riding horse at Raheen Daw. Followed there in 5th place by Jennifer's 2nd horse, Ascot Angel. She was the champion riding horse at Gorey. And then Ben Rainey and Gillian Gill's small riding horse from Balmoral in 6th place. So a nice mix into the final lineup.
Lovely, lovely lineup of horses there, yeah.
Look at that. That's a very happy Shane McKenna. That's fantastic to see. They'll be laden down in ribbons and sashes and winners' cards, and of course the prize money. That's €1,000 to the winner.
He'll be very happy about that. That'll,
because it's an expensive game, you know, and it puts a huge amount of investment to get these horses here, and Shane's a great supporter of the Champion of Champions, always has been, and I'm just so unbelievably thrilled to see him take the top spot.
It's good. Yeah, it's great. I think the horse knows he's won, looking at him there. Yeah. I think sometimes they do know when they win, especially when that sash goes around their neck.
Very special moment.
Very.
Now, I think the judges are going to present to our finalists So I think that was something that was really important to us all this year, that everyone who came forward for the final today left the arena
with something.
A memento of the day, because equal amount of hard work goes into producing these horses.
And a lot of travelling to qualify, to come here, so it's nice they're rewarded for that.
Without a doubt.
And even for the horses that maybe were not pulled forward to the front line today, it's been a great experience for them, and especially the 4-year-olds here at the back. It's a great experience for them, and they'll have their day another day.
Without a doubt. And no doubt we'll see some of them back at Ballsbridge at the Dublin Horse Show. I know certainly the Cobbs you'd imagine to see there. Katie has qualified for the ladies' side saddle on this mare as well for Dublin, and looking forward to seeing them on their next big day out. But huge congratulations to everyone who came forward for today's riding horse final, and a huge thank you to them.
Absolutely, yeah.
We're going to have, you see, Sean McKenna, Shane's father, has joined them now for the presentation. And the whole McKenna show team, like there's so many of them involved and so much work involved. We've Angus McDonnell, our chairman of Showing Ireland, joining Caroline Davis from Connolly's Red Mills, and our judges for the presentation to the winner.
You can see by the horse there, this heat hasn't taken anything out of him.
Look at him standing up to attention.
He's a real showman, isn't he?
And Shane beautifully tugged out as well.
Yeah, he's enjoying these pictures being taken and being top of the pile. I think Shane quite enjoys it too.
Absolutely. Isn't it brilliant? Isn't that what it's all about?
It's great.
And we also have the prize being presented, I believe we have for the best turned out. It looks like Shane is our best turned out as well. And obviously there was a prize too for the best turned out groom. So I've no doubt there was a bit of fun had in the warm-up.
Yes, I would think so, yes.
The teasing amongst the grooms, because again, they're a huge part of it. I know ourselves a couple of years ago we had a cob in the RDS who was finding the atmosphere a little tough, and Sean was a huge help to us in the ring, just keeping us all calm, and that's what it's all
keeping
about.
Keeping the lid on it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're forever grateful. Well, huge congratulations, Shane McKenna, riding his 4-year-old Watchhouse High Voltage, owned by his mom, Janet, and produced by the McKenna show team. And to all of our top 6, and as I said, Nicola, that's so close again, but her record in these champions final, like I said, she's already won 2 of these riding horse finals over the years, 2 of the Hunter finals.
Her she had the highest price. Phenomenal, yeah.
Absolutely. And lovely to see a coloured horse in the mix.
Yes, yeah. 6 lovely horses.
Absolutely. And for Jennifer Kennedy to have 2 horses in the top 6, that's a big achievement.
It is.
Beautifully ridden by Amy Watchorn today, and Jennifer herself on Money Cross. Shane will enjoy this.
Very good. That's a lovely sight, isn't it?
Absolutely beautiful.
Well done all.